Welcome back to the series. First of all, I would like to tell you about the status of the project. I have been making progress in developing new features, as well as fixing bugs and making the mod multiplayer compatible. I hope to be able to finish it soon and send it to Giants for testing. With that said, we can now focus on the topic of this video. Unfortunately, there is not much I can do with what the base game spec offers, so I had to add support for new elements in the XML and make the decision to limit this functionality to harvesters that have those elements. But don't worry, I'm already in contact with some modders, so we will have the option to play with all these extra features on the cool models they are creating. Let me show you the new elements in the XML. First, I have created support for an animation called saw animation. It's very similar to the base game cut animation, but the saw should just go down. It is also very important that the sound is not defined in the animation. Now we can add this animation in the wood harvester section. Put in the name, the speed scale, and a very important attribute called max cut diameter. This is the maximum diameter that the saw will cut when it's all the way down. Now let's move on to the sounds. As I said before, the cut sound must be defined in the specialization. This way I can control it in the script. I've also added support for a new sound called cut end, which is basically the sound the saw makes when it stops cutting and goes up. Now that we have everything ready, let's see how it works. I have created an option in the menu to be able to choose the saw modes. I will leave you the option that's selected somewhere on the screen. Let's start with the automatic mode. It works pretty much like the base game, but takes into account the diameter of the log, so it will take longer to cut thick logs than thin logs. I'm going to turn on the sound of the game, so you can hear what I've done with the sounds that we defined earlier in the XML. Now let's see the semi-automatic mode. If we try to cut a tree, you will see that if I press the cut button for a short time, it doesn't cut the tree. I have to hold the button down until it cuts it completely. However, once you are backing, it works the same as the automatic mode. You hit the cut button once and it cuts through. You don't need to hold down the button. And finally, let's see the manual mode. If we try to cut a tree, just like in semi-automatic mode, you will see that I have to hold down the cut button until it completely cuts the tree. Once you are backing in manual mode, the saw also cuts only while you hold down the button, so you have to hold the cut button until it cuts all the way through. Now let's look at a couple of things of manual mode. If I feed the tree manually, you will see in the computer the current length. Using the saw in manual mode, reset the length even if you don't cut the log completely. This is used a lot, for example, when you are processing previously felled trees. if I take the tree here and feed it back to the beginning, the first thing I have to do is to reset the measurement, and I can do it by tapping the cut button. Now I can hit the measure button and do the process normally. Another curious thing that happens with manual mode is that if you have the automatic feed option activated, if you hit the cut button as soon as the saw goes up, it feeds the tree to the next length even if you don't cut the log completely. Now I'm going to show you a new option that I have added, the grab after cut option. If you have the grab after cut option turned on, you can cut a tree without grabbing it first, and as soon as it is cut, the head automatically grabs it, as it works in the base game. If you have the grab after cut option turned off, it won't grab the tree automatically, so you will have to grab it yourself before cutting it like in real life, or something like this will happen. You cut it, and it falls off. Tell me what you think of all these features, and if you liked the video, give it a like and subscribe so you don't miss the next one. That's all for now. Thanks for watching.